There are many, many Ford Bronco videos out there and other off-roaders and trucks, but I'll bet you there's not many like this. Maybe this is the only one. What you see here is a Ford Bronco 2022 model, four-door Sasquatch package that just completed about 9,000 miles towing a trailer. And Josh, our buddy Josh is here. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So in this video, I want to kind of talk to you about your adventure because you started in Texas, you went through the States, you went to Canada, you hit some Alaska, and you're back on the way down home, right?
Yeah, a couple more days I'll be home.
So what I wanted to learn from you is like, what is it like? What is it like, first of all, to tow with a Bronco? What is it like to have a giant rack on your soft top Bronco? What is it like to tow a big Conqueror four-wheel drive trailer?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, this trip has been a multi-stage adventure that I spent months planning, and I think a lot of stuff went right and a lot of stuff didn't, and I couldn't be happier with the setup. I mean, it took care of me whenever things weren't going right. I picked up a nail and got a flat tire, and I had some other little issues, but at the end of the day, the Bronco was very solid, and that camper, man, you can't imagine how many people wanted to talk about it and just like, what is this thing? Like, it's crazy.
So this is the Conqueror camper. So let's describe the Bronco in like 30 seconds. It's a 2022 model, Badlands four-door, like I said, 35s, right? Sasquatch package, soft top, and you got it in April?
I did, April 15th, after 609 days of waiting since my reservation.
You were counting the days.
Yeah, I did a personalized plate, but I almost did 609 days instead of Sasquatch.
That's cool, if you can check out the license plate as well. So then you knew you wanted to bring a trailer, right?
Well, actually, so my original thought was like, I'm just gonna tent camp it.
Okay.
And with as many people as ended up coming with, and this was really a support vehicle kind of for a large group.
Okay.
So the last few weeks it's just been me, but for the first couple weeks, like first 3-4 weeks, there's a lot of people that use the kitchen and the slept and the pantry and the water supply and the air compressor and like everything that the thing provides. It was helpful for everybody.
So So where did you get the trailer then? How did that come about?
So I went to go look at one of the high altitude, more of just like the regular teardrop style.
Yeah.
Because first I thought I'll just build one myself, and then like, I don't know if I'm gonna have time, and then so I went to go look at that, and I was really set on it. In fact, the salesman, he was ready to draw up the paperwork, but I was like, I better let my wife, weigh in on this before I make that decision.
Yeah.
And she saw one of these sitting there, all folded out and in its full glory, and she fell in love. So that's what we ended up with.
Okay, and then you hooked up the trailer to your Bronco. It's a 2.7 twin turbo V6.
Yep, and I've added the like Panda Motorsports tuner, because through the mountains and stuff you need that extra power. I had to add the tow package myself. It didn't come with that. I had to do there's wiring to charge the trailer batteries off of the truck. That's what that guy is right there.
Yeah. And you installed the hitch yourself.
I did, yeah.
Makes sense.
It's a Kurt hitch.
Okay.
It's got that articulating, kind of lock and roll.
Three-dimensional, three-dimensional hitch that kind of comes with the trailer, right?
Yeah.
And then and you added sumo springs, right, to kind of help it a little.
Yeah, and you can see it's still squatting. That's I don't.
Oh, you have a lot of weight.
Well, not just me. The truck,
No, I'm not going to think of it. Okay.
You're right though.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, but if the sumo springs weren't in there, I think it'd be riding on the tires.
Yeah, there you have it.
Yeah.
So let's open up the trailer. Let's show that and kind of talk to me about your trip. So you left, Dallas area?
Yep, north of Dallas, a little town called Denton,
Okay.
Where we've got University of North Texas and Texas Women's. So we left there July 2nd, so just right before the 4th of July. And it was about 14-day trip from there to Alaska.
So now,
trying to remember, it was so long ago.
And you have completed about 9,000 right now.
About 9,000 so far, yeah. I think it's just a hair under, but by the time we get home, it'll be 9,500 or so.
And you towed the trailer the entire way?
The only exception is when we were in Skagway and Juneau.
Yeah, you left the trailer somewhere?
Yeah, we have family there, so we dropped that, and so we went over to the Yukon and and those things without the trailer, but that's actually one of the more interesting things about like this configuration is I can change it. You know, like right now the Bronco is set up for 2 people or 1 person really, but when my parents joined us in Alaska, I needed to carry them around and their stuff, so I had to put stuff in here and I had to move things around. Without that rack, I couldn't have pulled it off.
That's a Gobi rack. We'll look at it later.
Yeah.
So let's kind of show the camper a little bit more.
Let me pull some stuff out. This
Can I help
is,
you?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
I mean, this
chairs?
is every day though. Every day at camp, you know.
Yep.
We're gonna move.
We're gonna chill a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Out
got
there.
it.
This is my sink. We'll set that up in a minute.
Okay.
But one, like I said, I brought too much stuff with me. One thing that I brought that I have not needed is this portable toilet. It came with the camper, but like it's never been
But
opened.
it's great insurance.
It is great insurance. Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably good enough to see inside.
Okay.
Let me turn some lights on for you.
So Alex, do you want to jump in there and kind of walk us through it a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So as you can see, there's storage kind of all over the place. These like canvas zipped Velcroed cubbies. I've got all kinds of crap in there right now. They've got clothes, there's tools, you know, anything you could imagine. It's just all stored away and safe, and nothing falls out.
Okay.
So when you know.
And technically, you could sleep this way without popping the top, without expanding it.
Right. Yeah, and I have done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how tall are you? You're pretty tall.
6'7".
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you sleep? Can you just lay down like as it is right now?
Just crawl in and go to sleep.
Okay.
I mean, there's this big cushion here, which is part of the other bed.
Uh-huh.
So I'll usually throw that out, but if it's raining, I can sleep on top of it. It's fine.
Okay. So almost no setup time if you really had to just stop somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you can crawl right in and shut the door and be out of the rain, and yeah,
and the mosquitoes too.
And the mosquitoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, but it can do much more.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. This bed right here folds out. This is sort of a double-sized bed, tent canvas, just like the top. And when this pops up, I mean, even though I'm 6'7", I can stand up all the way in there comfortably.
Okay.
There is an air conditioner. It's also a heat pump, so air and heat if you've got some kind of shore power.
Right there in the corner?
Yeah, I got my backup heater down there, a little buddy. And there's, so this bed isn't just a bed, it's also a dinette if you want it to be.
Also, you can kind of remove the cushion and kind of expand it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't this whole time. I mean, because you've got outdoors, and this piece right here is another table, so you can set that out here, and you can, you can live outdoors. Yeah. And I've been really fortunate to have good weather most of the trip, and so I just haven't needed to, eat inside or anything.
All right, well, let's open some other cubbies out here.
Yeah, sure. So the most critical one is here. This is both the stove, the sink, and the refrigerator. And the fridge is 12 volts, so it's on right now. But if we want to, if you can see that.
Oh, is this where your sink goes?
Yeah.
Or double sinks?
Yeah, double sinks. There's no like
triple sinks.
Yeah. There's no like gray water tank or black water tank, but it does have an 80-gallon freshwater tank.
Okay.
And so if I turn the pump on, I can wash dishes right here, and you just have to dump the water.
Okay.
But under here, it's a little dirty, but there's a nice 2-burner stove. This thing works great. I have a big griddle for it, so that kind of use just for everything. But under here, you've got obviously bowls, glasses, etc. Some other random junk we've thrown in there, like a coffee scoop. And then down here, all the silverware, and that's where we keep our plates and knives and other utensils and things. That's been used a lot.
Yeah, and so you're on pretty rough roads. I mean, so
yeah.
A lot of highways, of course. So you went through New Mexico, Colorado. You followed the Rocky Mountain.
We did, yeah.
Range,
all
right?
All the way up through like Wyoming and Montana, up into Alberta and over BC. And through some pretty rough stuff.
And also dirt roads, lots of
tons of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I prefer them when I can get them.
And this trailer has been holding up. I mean, like as far as like rattles or squeaks or things you've noticed.
Definitely, yeah. I think just recently, maybe the hitch needs to be greased, but other than that, that's just normal maintenance stuff. And when you're on the road for 6 weeks and 9,000 miles, actually,
things will happen.
Yeah. I had the truck serviced in Whitehorse.
Okay.
So I waited there a couple extra days just to make sure I get the oil changed and everything, have them check everything because I can't really do it myself on the road. But they took care of it, and this trailer has been rock solid. Couple little things here and there, but nothing significant.
All right, so where do we go from here? Just a couple more
let's
cubbies?
let's look at the pantry real quick. So, I mean, first you've got what is one of the most important cubbies in the entire trailer.
Yeah.
This is the booze cabinet.
Oh, wow.
So, there's not a lot left. There was
Okay.
more to begin with, but a couple bottles of wine left. Actually, I picked up that scotch in Montana, I think. But we keep our trash bags and stuff there. Liquor cabinet, obviously, and these little guys are just kind of whatever you need them to be. Right now, we've got bowls in there. There's like a microfiber towel. The all ever important bug spray pocket is down here.
Oh, yes.
And some other cups and things, and same thing on the other door. There's similar stuff. And this is going to be a mess, but I'm still going to show you anyway.
Well, we're all friends.
Right.
We're all friends.
So this is the pantry, and this is accessible from the inside too.
Okay.
There's zippers, just like the other cubbies. You can unzip that, and you can access that. But this holds an amazing amount of food. We brought pretty much all of this with us. We didn't buy much of it on the road. A couple things like salmon and stuff in Alaska, but and it's still here. Like I've been eating out of this pantry, for weeks.
So a lot of volume,
Yeah.
pretty good stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty great. This awning, when we're set up in camp and you fold the awnings out, it's like you're living outside. It's like a real outdoor living situation.
Can you zip it to the ground, or is
You
it just
can.
a roof?
I did not bring the walls with me
Okay.
because they're pretty bulky and I didn't
Okay.
think I would use them.
Okay.
And I'm kind of glad I didn't because it takes a long time. But if you're going to sit in a place for weeks or even days, and you wanted that extra protection, it comes with them.
I gotcha. Okay. Let's walk around the back and see. And where'd you buy this? But
I bought it at a little dealer in Denton, Texas, called
Okay.
Outback RV.
okay.
And actually, funny story, the salesman I bought it from, I traded in my Jeep Rubicon on this trailer, kind of an even trade situation, and the salesman who sold me the trailer now owns that Jeep.
Okay.
He's never been off-road before, and so I got to take him.
So-
that was a pretty great experience.
So this trailer is what are we talking about? Like, as far as price, roughly?
About 60.
About
Maybe
okay.
55 on sale,
Okay.
but they're so in high demand that 60 is probably what you'd pay.
And it's probably hard to find.
Yeah,
would
they were.
imagine.
So we, when we bought it, we didn't actually get it for a few weeks. They had a shipment coming in, and they had, I think, 6 or 7 in the shipment, and we were the last one. And the next person who wanted to buy one would have had to wait, months.
So you got extra fuel. Were you using that? Or how was your fuel efficiency when towing?
About 12 and a half.
Okay.
With the tuner running premium, and that does help the mileage a little bit. But I mean, we're talking a difference between like 12.1 and 12.7. I did use this can. It is almost empty, but I haven't had to use that one yet. It's still full, and I have another 2-gallon tank on the back. The main reason I wanted the cans was for the Alaska Highway. There's
Because you never know, right?
Yeah, and if one gas station is out of fuel, or you don't have the right form of payment or whatever, you're not getting fuel, and it's a couple hundred miles to the next one.
And you're kind of almost maxing out the capability of this Bronco for towing.
Yeah, it is
3,000 to 3,500 pounds.
Yeah, I think for insurance purposes, I will say it is exactly 3,500 pounds.
Yes.
I don't know what it actually weighs, but the Bronco does handle it just fine.
Yeah. And even stability-wise and
Stability-wise, it's great.
and
Like I was actually really shocked. I think a lot of that credit goes to the trailer. With it's got independent suspension and the airbags, and it really you can open that if you want to, but it really just soaks up the bumps, and you kind of get to choose, because it has airbags. You choose what pressure. There you go. What pressure you're running. So if you're going to go over a really rough road, you might do a little bit lower pressure, or on the highway you do a little bit higher pressure.
okay. Makes sense.
There's a shower if you're interested. So the hot water heater is here. This shower, I can open it up real quick. The idea is that you're supposed to have the walls on. You're supposed to shower right here. But, so I didn't bring the walls. I got a really long hose,
Okay.
and I put this shower tent on. So this can fold out and provides a nice, comfortable place to get some privacy and take a shower.
Okay.
The hot water heater is sort of an on-demand thing, so you kind of have to wait and go. Like, it's going to be a little bit cold at first, but you're camping. That's okay. But it works once it kicks in. It works great.
Sweet.
I'll leave
Well,
that there for
yeah,
you.
I mean, this has been your home for like 6 weeks,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Okay, so So you said the top pops up
It does.
and the front opens up forward.
Yeah, so you could comfortably sleep 4 normal-sized people, maybe 5. With me and my wife, it's pretty much maybe 3 people could sleep in here.
Yeah.
That's the most we had in there. But it's super, super comfortable. I mean, they use really thick foam on all the cushions, so you're comfortable.
Sweet. Let's check out the rack because I haven't seen one like this yet.
Yes, it's a new thing. Gobi, they just started shipping these, I think, this month.
Okay.
They were actually really nice to me and let me have it a little early. And in fact, they installed it for me at their shop in Aurora, just down the road. It's been critical. I mean, honestly, I was sweating, worrying about being able to do the Alaska part with my parents with us. I didn't think I'd be able to, carry 4 people and all the luggage and all the places we wanted to go. But with the rack, we pulled it off just fine.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you have a lot of stuff still and still capability inside that you can use. And it's interesting how it ties in. So it ties in kind of on the A-pillar, here at the cowl, in the back and the bumper like we saw.
Yeah.
And then you insert you added little guys over here too.
I did, yeah. I originally thought I was going to mount my radio antenna there. It's actually on the back on the spare tire, rack. But I've put GoPros on there. I've put fishing poles, like a little eye hook that just kind of goes through there, and you put the end of the fishing pole through that, and you can strap it to the rack. It works really great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super functional. Like all the extra stuff, all the extra cargo capacity, and just the fact that it's a steel rack that I can strap things to has been huge.
How about wind noise? Did you notice anything extra?
Quite a bit, yeah, honestly.
Okay. This is a soft top.
It's a soft top, so it started loud.
Yeah.
But it's louder with that on there.
Okay.
You get used to it, but it is. I think the traction boards being on the side are probably making more noise than the rack itself, but it is noisy.
I gotcha. So yeah, it's quite interesting. You have more storage up front.
Oh yeah, all kinds of junk in here. This is kind of the mechanical stuff in the trailer. So like the pump is in here and the filters and things, and just a whole bunch of junk. Oh, it was more organized when I started, I promise.
Yeah, trust me, you don't want to see my garage. And you said you had a flat tire on the trailer.
I did, yeah.
You were trying to jack it up. What happened?
Well, I think the jack, yeah, here it is. So the only jack I brought with me was the one in the Bronco. So it has, they're in there somewhere. It has a rod that goes in here to turn it, but you see how this part just bent?
Yeah.
And it just basically snapped, and I busted up my fingers a little bit trying to do that, and I realized I'm not going to be able to jack the trailer up with this, even though I'm well under the weight rating.
The weight, yeah.
Yeah, first use, no good. So that was in the middle of nowhere.
That was a bummer.
Yeah, that was kind of on a really bad timing because it was raining, and it was the middle of nowhere in Idaho, and there was no place open because it was a Sunday, so I had to drive like 70 miles round trip to find an O'Reilly and buy a bottle jack and come back and get the job done.
Yeah.
So that worked out.
And what happened? Were you on a dirt road or something, or just something?
I was on a highway. I think I just picked it up.
Piece of debris or something.
Like a screw, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, very, very cool. And so, would you do something differently, or what do you think? Like as far as this trip.
That's a great question. There's a lot of things I think I've learned. Like what to do, what not to do. I definitely would bring less stuff with me. There's just things that we thought, oh yeah, we'll probably need that. Just throw it in the trailer, and we didn't. But beside that, I think for short trips by myself, I probably won't bring the trailer. It's a lot. It's super functional, and I love it. For a long trip, for having extra people, it's great. But for short trips, I think it's maybe a bit much. And I think that I probably would do a little bit of work to the Bronco just to make it a little bit better setup for solo
Well, you
travel.
could maybe even put a tent on top of this. I mean, if you really wanted to switch it up.
Yeah, I'm actually going to stop by Gobi tomorrow, and I think they're going to swap out the ladders. They're going to put new ladders on.
Okay.
But I'm going to get some of those elevation bars that they make so I can put a tent on there.
I gotcha. And did you off-road the Bronco itself when you would leave a trailer? Would you go somewhere?
Yeah. That's kind of the reason why I decided to tow the trailer with the Bronco is that off-road, just the adventure part of it. I mean, I'm not really into like huge boulder crawling, and that's a lot of fun. I've done it, I enjoy it, but that's not what the purpose of this. And plus, you don't want to break something, you know, when you're on a 9,000 mile trip.
Yeah.
But I went all over the place, national forests, and you know, just
exploring.
Yeah, that's kind of my favorite thing to do. That's when I feel like at peace.
And so in the Bronco itself, like you said, you serviced it. It kind of served you as a tow vehicle even.
Yeah.
Just over this entire distance.
Yeah, and I think I've had, and I still have a couple Jeeps, but I've had Jeeps, I've had other trucks, and something, at somebody my size, I'm so much more comfortable in this Bronco, and I think it's equally as capable as any of the, you know, Rubicon Jeeps that I've had. But on a couple hours in my, you know, lifted Rubicon Jeep would make me nauseous. I'm just tired of it. I'm getting beat up, you know, it's small and I'm a big guy. I mean, I don't know what the trip counter says, but it's close to 200 hours in this thing at this point, and I've not felt that once. And there hasn't been an obstacle that I've wanted to go over that it didn't want to.
Well, thank you for sharing your trip with us.
Absolutely.
Sounds really amazing. And
It has been. And thanks for having
next time I'm in Texas, maybe I'll stop by.
me. Yeah, definitely do, man. Maybe we'll do some more of that boulder crawling.
Sounds good. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.